Mr. President, it's time to start cutting trillions, not millions. Earlier, I spoke with Representative Darrell Issa, Republican of California. He says he, too, will vote to raise the debt limit, but it has to be tied to real, quote, come-to-Jesus moments in how we raise and spend our money in this country.
Well, what I want to hear from President Obama tomorrow is specifics. It's, I'm going to do this, not hyperbole. As you know, the president keeps saying that he wants to save. He wants to eliminate tracking two types of salmon, fresh and saltwater, but he hasn't gotten down to the specifics that can save hundreds of billions of dollars in duplicate programs and in real changes we need to our retirement and medical programs.
And you don't expect to hear that, sir? I mean, the word is, and again, this has been a fairly closely held speech. Usually there are more leaks. Apparently they're not leaking this one. But don't you expect him to at least address Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, some of the other big entitlement programs?
Well, you know, I'm hopeful that he'll do exactly that, that he'll say Medicare needs to be modernized. It has to be able to cost less while doing much of what it does. Social Security, as you know, there's really only three things you can do. You can raise the retirement, raise the tax, or lower the benefits. And if he gets into that, I'll applaud him, because we really do need to look not at raising the tax, but we need to look at, are all the benefits essential and necessary, particularly many of them that aren't means tested? Are there ways to really save Social Security without simply taking more money and transferring it? I'm not hopeful that he's going to say it in the sense that his past experience has given us that hope, but I'm hopeful that he sees the change in Congress and he's willing to work with us.
Representative, the spokesman for the White House, Mr. Carney, has said that he's used two words. He's used Armageddon and he's used calamity regarding the debt ceiling. If we don't sign a debt ceiling, if we don't raise the debt ceiling, what are you looking for? First of all, will you sign a bill to raise the debt ceiling?
I will vote for raising the debt ceiling if it's linked to real reform. I repeat, I will vote to raise the debt ceiling, but it must be linked to real reform. We have plenty of reforms that are right before the president. He has plenty of time to realize they're coming. We're going to need that kind of austerity be part of any raise in the debt ceiling, because we can't keep spending the way we have been.
And I think you said, sir, I think it was your term, if I'm not mistaken, I need to see has to be a come to Jesus moment. Could you outline what that might be?
Well, I mean, one of them literally would be statutory cuts if we, in fact, don't otherwise hit them. Real cuts, real dollar figures. You know, the president needs to actually give us a budget for once that actually lives up to his claim that he's going to save money. The president has a tendency to talk about savings versus investment. At the end of the day, investment has to be additional savings over and above the 40% savings we need just to balance the budget. That's where the president and Congress, at least one-third of the government, we have a problem. The problem is his talk and his actual dollar proposals haven't yet marked. In the raising of the debt ceiling, we need to do that.
We have two senators that are going to follow you on this program tonight. I'm going to ask them the same question. How in the world did we get to a point where taxes were put back on the table? I thought at the end of last year there was a deal. $70 billion going to entitlements, the 99 weeks, getting additional benefits for the extension of Bush tax cuts. Yet now it seems like they're back on the table. How did that happen?
Well, they were always back on the table with the other party. On top of that, you know, when we looked at that 99-week extension, we begged to have some reforms within that. You understand that if you're making $1 million, you're still eligible, no matter how wealthy you are, to get this extension. Now, that may be a small group, but even that small group getting opted out of this new form of if you will, welfare was off the table. So we're hoping that we can, if he wants to reopen it on taxes, we want to reopen it on all the government spending programs.
Ah, fantastic. And that would be great. I think I heard Speaker Boehner saying we're willing to talk. I guess that's what he meant. If you want to talk about taxes, let's talk about entitlement spending. Is that right? Very quickly, only a few seconds left, sir.
Absolutely. I believe that Speaker Boehner is willing to listen to all of the items, but taxes, in fact, the president has plenty of taxes where he says he just wants to close tax loopholes. I think Speaker Boehner wants to look at those closing of tax loopholes, but he also wants to look at the real austerity. We can't revenue alone ourselves out of this. We've got to make real cuts, and that's where Speaker Boehner's been leading this administration.
Fantastic. Representative Darrell Issa from California, appreciate your time. First time on the show, but hopefully not the last time, sir.
Not at all. Thank you.
Thank you.